I just finished building and finishing and installing the upper cabinet doors in my kitchen, and now I need to install the pulls or handles that I ordered. And whenever I'm installing several handles in basically the same location on several doors, I always make a template so that I won't mess up with the measurement and end up drilling a hole in the wrong place. And I learned this long ago doing installations for a company that made kitchen cabinets. They would send out the cabinets without handles installed, and then I would have to drill the holes in the door to put the handles on. And believe me, the last thing you want to do is drill a hole in the wrong place. So anyway, there's not a whole lot to this. I'm just starting with a scrap of plywood that's bigger than I actually need, and I'm cutting it down to size. The length of this scrap that I'm using here is important. It has to be exactly 4¼ inches longer than the center-to-center distance for the handle. And the reason for that is that I want to line this template up with the bottom of the door in order to mark the holes and drill them. And I want it to work for both left-hand and right-hand doors. So I've cut one end off square, and you'll notice that I'm cutting the offcut as well. I'll need that after to complete the template. And now I'm measuring up 2 1/8 from that cut. And from there, I'm measuring over just a little bit more than 3 3/4. And that's the center-to-center distance for the screws that hold the handles on. And then from that second mark, I can measure over, and that'll be the other end of the template. The stiles on my doors are 2 inches wide. So I'm also going to measure over 1 inch from the edge of the template, and that'll give me a center point for the holes that I need to drill. And now it's over to the drill press, where I'm going to use a 3/16 inch drill bit to drill the holes, being very careful to line them up, make sure they're exactly on the marks. The accuracy of your layout, of course, depends completely on the accuracy of this template. So you really want to pay attention here and make sure it's good. And the next thing to do is to fasten the fence, which is just that offcut piece. And I'm just going to fire in a couple of brads for that. This template that I'm making here is temporary. It's not a permanent type thing. It'll be just for these particular doors that I'm working on right now with these particular handles. And it really won't be useful for anything else. And the next time that I need to install handles, I'll make a template especially for those. All right, now that it's finished, the only thing left to do is to actually try it out. I'm going to do that on a scrap piece of wood. And then when you're drilling the holes through the doors, you really want to have a backer piece clamped to the other side of the door to prevent tear out. The 3/16 inch bit is slightly larger than the screws, so you have a little bit of leeway there, but it's always better to get it as close as you possibly can, especially when you're using handles that have a very small contact area with the door. If your hole's too large or too far off, you'll see the edge of it after the handle goes on.